Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey there, sinners and saints. It's your favorite Bible-bashing duo from Sacrilegious Discourse, and we need your help.
That's right, folks. We're raising funds for some heavenly equipment and a studio that doesn't sound like it's in the depths of hell.
Our current setup, let's just say it's more apocalypse than audiophile.
So if you want to hear us dissect the Bible without the background noise of demonic squirrels, chip in a few bucks.
We're aiming for $5,000 to upgrade our audio and build a studio worthy of blasphemous banter.
Donate today and help us spread the good word of atheism.
You can find a link right on our homepage, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. Every dollar counts.
Even if it's from your collection plate. Hey you, welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
I'm wife.
And together we're reading the Bible.
Starting with Genesis and eventually ending with Revelations, we're working through every book and offering our atheist 2 cents.
Or shekels.
Yeah, those. We're asking questions and pointing out all the nonsense.
We aren't academics or scholars.
Nope. In fact, when it comes to religion, we really don't know anything at all.
What we've learned so far is that God's a dick.
Oh, he really is, isn't he? If you're interested in how we reached this startling conclusion, maybe start from episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in anywhere. It's all good.
Yep.
Hey wife, did you know that Anchor is sponsoring our show?
Really? Don't we use Anchor to distribute our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts?
Yeah, and we are on just about every other platform available as well, thanks to them.
Why do we use Anchor as our podcasting service?
Well, they make editing and distributing our show a breeze.
What if one of our listeners wants to start their own podcast?
Then they should head over to anchor.fm or download the app to get started.
Awesome! You guys should go do that right now! Husband!
Wife!
What are we doing today?
So today is a special episode where we're going to have a, basically we've decided that maybe like twice a month, we're going to have a special episode that's going to be Patreon only, except for today. Today, everybody gets to listen to the episode.
Oh my gosh.
And generally, we're going to do this over something that's relevant in the news, and it can pertain to what we're doing here or not. You know, it's just kind of us being us and talking about a subject that we care about that day.
Sure.
But going forward after this episode, these will only be available to our Patreon subscribers. So make sure that after you finish listening to this, you go over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and go ahead and subscribe as one of our Patreon, as low as $2.
Woohoo!
All right. So what are we doing today, wife?
Well, husband, we are going to talk about banned books, of which the Bible is one.
Nice.
So that's the tie-in.
Yeah, there's the tie-in.
That is happening in America right now, and it is trash, I tell you. But before we jump into that and before we go on our break, I do think that it needs to be said that we had started in on all of this before Russia invaded Ukraine.
Yeah.
And
that's obviously the big news of now.
Right. And we don't want it to go unsaid. You know, we are aware of what's happening. We stand with Ukraine.
Definitely.
And we're just so sorry for what's happening over there.
Yeah, our hearts go out to the people in Ukraine right now. It's just, the whole thing is just awful.
It's a tragedy and horrendous. So we just didn't want to jump in without having said that.
Right. I think that's appropriate. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get on into the main section here, huh?
Okie dokie.
All right.
Okay, let's get this show on the road.
Let's.
So, banned books.
Banned books.
Have you ever read a banned book?
I'm sure I have.
But not like on purpose? Not like, this is a banned book, I'm going to read it.
Right, no.
Wow. I have read a banned book.
Oh, I
on
know.
purpose.
You live for banned book at the library and all that other stuff. So
I live for book.
You
I live for
book, yeah.
library.
Yeah, you are book.
Yes. So that's why this was so particularly exciting to me as a first time outing.
Yeah, I'm
this.
gonna be like just a third wheel today. I'm here in spirit, but
That sounded like I'm having an affair.
well, it's me, you, and our listeners.
It's true.
So
it's true.
This is just kind of between you and them. That's all.
It's true.
Yeah.
So first I thought I'd give a few definitions and talk about like what banned books are.
Okay.
So banned books are books or other printed works such as essays or plays which are prohibited by law or to which free access is not permitted by other means. The practice of which is, period the end, a form of censorship.
Oh, yeah?
It's censorship.
Okay.
We censor those censored books.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, that's said by law, but like censored books and banned books oftentimes are banned by a school or by a library that specifically. It's not necessarily by law. Sometimes
Right.
it's kept out of an area because of people.
Right. That gets into the difference between challenge and ban.
Oh.
And banned books is the blanket statement that we use.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So a challenge, which is less weighty than a ban, a challenge is an attempt to remove or restrict materials. And that's what we often see. And we use the word banned, but it's actually just they're trying to have it removed. And those are based upon objections of a person or group that we'll get into. I imagine that you can imagine what a lot of those objections might be.
Well, I mean, it's in the news right now. If you're watching the news at all,
Right.
you're noticing probably a lot of stuff about banned books right now because it is
Right.
banned book time. So
What I would recommend, if you haven't already, is to watch a clip on YouTube of what's his name? Trevor
LeVar
Noah.
Burton.
No, Trevor Noah did a bit on banned books,
Yeah.
and at the end of which LeVar Burton comes in and does a thing on.
Which is great.
It was the whole thing was fantastic. LeVar Burton in particular, it's well worth the watch.
Yeah, and if you don't know what LeVar Burton has to do with books, then
Yeah, sorry at ya. So if a challenge is an attempt to remove or restrict materials, a ban is the actual removal of those materials.
got it.
And in many territories, the distribution, promotion, or certain translations of the Bible have been historically prohibited or impeded.
I mean, that makes sense.
It does
So,
make sense. I have mixed feelings on it because on the one hand, I do not like the pushing of religion onto other people.
Right.
And, I don't believe that prayer belongs in school.
Definitely not.
And I hate that, at the last several high school graduations that I've been to, they do a prayer. I don't
Right.
feel that's appropriate.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So,
But should you not have access to information?
right. And the answer to that is no, even though it pains me.
Right.
It's the writer and reader in me is at war with the atheist in me and the get thee behind me devil,
Right.
So, I go back and forth on that, but no, of course, all written works should be made available.
Sure. I totally agree. I think it goes to kind of like, I mean, we don't censor in this house really at all.
No, we
Like,
really don't.
Speech or otherwise,
No.
we actually encourage, finding out things and reading whatever, you're interested in. So that's always been our take, with instruction. We're parents still.
Sure.
But
we have some really great discussions, and I learned from our kid.
right.
Because, just for an example, you and I had an impression of what furries were. And, there's a dirty connotation that comes with
Sure.
it that we were aware of.
Right.
But our kid is moving in a different part of the internet than we are.
Right.
And that part of the internet is more harmless, and it has more to do with the inclusivity of everyone and
Right.
the LGBTQ portion of that as well. And we had to have a discussion about that because I was like, oh God, furries, no.
Right.
And my kid, teenager is like, excuse you,
Right.
you are not aware.
Yeah.
And so the learning goes both ways, which is
Definitely.
why we don't censor.
Definitely.
It's
I mean, yeah, we learn just as much from our kid as they do from us at this point, I think. So
Yeah.
It's great.
Exactly. So, I don't know if you are aware. I, of course, am aware. There is a Banned Books Week.
Well, I only know that because, we've been in the library and there's signs up that say Banned Book Week.
Right.
So,
Well, it takes place every September.
Okay.
And this year's is September 18th through the 24th.
So mark it on your calendars right now.
Mark it on your motherfucking calendar. And libraries go to great lengths to make regularly challenged and banned books available.
Yeah.
And to push them.
Sure.
So that, people are aware of the dangers of these books being removed.
Right, because oftentimes they are some of the most important books that are out there.
Right. I mean, we've got things like that you would expect, like 50 Shades of Grey,
Sure.
for example, sexually inappropriate, right?
Right.
And, I'm not a fan, but whatever,
Right.
people read, they read, whatever.
Yep.
But then you've also, on the other hand, got classics like To Kill a Mockingbird.
Right.
Which are historically important in our country.
Yeah.
And those two don't even belong in the same fucking category, but they're both on the same list.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the bans come from both sides, the right and the left.
Yep.
Because and again, I have a really hard time with this because the writer and reader in me rails against both the atheist and the liberal in me. Because there are books that, for example, Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn, that have the N-word in it.
Sure.
Highly inappropriate. I do not condone that language. However, having said that, these books are important for teaching the writing style of local color language. Not when I say local color, I'm referring to patois and a stylistic way of writing dialogue.
Sure.
And these books are fantastic at it because Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain, was able to capture that in the moment.
Yeah, and it was a different era completely. And that doesn't excuse it.
No.
But it
should spark a discussion about
Right.
why these words are inappropriate.
Sure.
Not to pretend that they don't exist.
Right.
And
I
that's the difference.
Well, and you balance it with, a book that's different than that. That's the beauty of banned books. There's all kinds of ways to go with it. You
Right,
know, and you
exactly.
can expose people to different things all around. So.
Exactly. So, the left gets on its high horse, and I hate even saying this, but the left gets on its high horse to be so politically correct that they will try to remove anything that is racially offensive. And I'm like, you're doing the right all the favors when you do that.
Right. Because they're the ones trying to censor, and now
Yeah.
you're saying, okay, yeah, sure, let's do that.
Exactly. And I mean, they are now trying to remove some of the same books.
Yeah.
And that idea, oh my God, just like makes my brain explode.
I remember the author, but I can't remember the name of the book. But there was it was back when I was going to college. Her name was Wendy Kaminer, and she had written a book about free speech, and it was very, very good.
It was so good.
It's definitely worth a read. It really makes you think about your stances on free speech and where you should stand. So, and I think it's a very relevant discussion going into the internet age here, because it's something that's going to continue to be an issue.
Yeah,
So.
definitely. Well, the theme of this year's Banned Books Week, they have a different theme every year. And this year, appropriately enough, is Books Unite Us, Censorship Divides Us.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that says it all right there.
Definitely.
If you want to learn more about Banned Books Week, you should go to bannedbooksweek.org.
Okay.
So, and I'm just going to read a little bit about it so that you know what it's about.
Okay.
Banned Books Week is an annual event celebrating the freedom to read. Banned Books Week was launched in 1982, so very recent, really.
I mean,
relatively
in the grand scheme of
speaking.
things, I guess.
Yeah.
That's almost 40 years ago.
Well, I know because I'm
That's
old.
maybe over 40 years ago.
Well, I mean, it's because I'm old.
Right.
But I don't think of the 80s as that long ago, so shut your face. It was launched in 1982 in response to a sudden surge in the number of challenges to books in schools, bookstores, and libraries.
Couldn't have had anything to do with Reagan, could it?
Reagan and the Satanic Panic
Right,
is what I
yeah.
am positive that had to
Yeah,
do with.
yeah.
So, typically held during the last week of September, it highlights the value of free and open access to information.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I love the library not only because of obvious reasons, it has books.
Right.
Libraries saved my life. Like, when I was a kid, I found freedom in the library.
Sure.
I was able to go to other places, other worlds, other places where I was not experiencing the trauma that I was experiencing at home.
Right.
So for me, libraries always hold a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
And to see them, like if you watch the Trevor Noah clip and there are librarians whose lives are now being threatened,
Right.
that is just crushing.
Well, it's
to
the
me.
same. It's the same line of thinking where like some of the school board members are getting threatened, and I mean, there's just this whole threat mentality that's going
Yes.
out right now,
Yes.
and it's a shame. I mean, libraries have been a defender of free speech for as long as we've been alive.
Yes.
And they are one of the most ardent defenders, I think. I mean, they really push free speech and not censoring things. So
I have always held librarians as heroes because they are the frontline defenders of the First Amendment.
yeah,
And,
definitely.
There are some great books out there about how awesome librarians are.
I'm sure I haven't read them, but I'm sure there are.
I should have probably put together a couple of names, but
Yeah.
if you're interested, if you know, you know.
Hit us up on Twitter. I'll get
exactly,
get you a list.
exactly. So, the Banned Books Week thing itself is put together by the American Library Association,
Okay.
and that's the ALA, and they are the awesome overarching, like all libraries answer to them.
Right.
If you go into a librarianship program in college, you need to make sure that it's ALA approved,
Right.
or else it's a garbage program.
Sure.
Basically.
Yep.
They condemn censorship and work to ensure free access to information. Every year, the Office for Intellectual Freedom compiles a list of the top 10 most challenged books in order to inform the public about censorship in libraries and schools. And I happen to have the most recent list, which is from 2020.
And the new list comes out when?
The newer list for 2021 will come out this April.
Okay. All right.
So, I know 2020, it seems like, God, that's old.
forever ago.
Yeah. And you can imagine what the 2022 one will look like a couple years from now.
Sure. Yeah.
But here are the top 10 challenged books of 2020. George by Alex Gino. I'm not familiar with that book, but it was challenged, banned, and restricted for LGBTQIA plus content, conflicting with a religious viewpoint and not reflecting, quote, the values of our community.
That's rough.
So we can guess who
that
came
was
out
the
against that.
Christian right.
Yeah. Number 2 is Stamped, Racism, Anti-Racism, and You by Ibram X. Kendi and Jason Reynolds. I do remember this book coming out, and I it's on my list of books that I intend to read.
Yeah.
It came out in the aftermath of the George Floyd protests.
Yeah.
When a lot of people were trying to learn about anti-racism.
Right.
And it was banned and challenged because of the author's public statements and because of claims that the book contains, quote, selective storytelling incidents and does not encompass racism against all people.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What is this the all people movement or whatever thing?
This is the All Lives Matter.
Yeah, the All Lives Matter.
Yeah, and
That's
why don't we have a White
bullshit.
History Month and all that
Such
stuff.
bullshit.
Yeah. Number 3 is All American Boys by Jason Reynolds and Brendel Keeley. And it was banned and challenged for profanity,
Oh no.
drug use, and alcohol.
That shit'll get you nowhere. Profanity fucking sucks, man.
I know. Well, I mean, the drug use and alcoholism, and because it was thought to promote anti-police views, contain divisive topics, and be, quote, too much of a sensitive matter right now. Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to read any of those sensitive matters, you know?
I imagine that somebody in that book must have said something like, fuck the police.
Sure, right.
I mean, right?
But yeah.
So,
But I mean, given the climate that we're in, that's not totally,
yeah.
Inappropriate sometimes.
I
so.
say fuck the police. So,
I mean, sometimes it's appropriate.
like,
You know?
I was never so excited as when,
They're just people. They shit too.
I was never so excited as when I was explaining the hashtag ACAB to my child, and my child was like, Mom, I already have that on my Twitter profile. And I was like, Jesus Christ, my teenager's awesome. ACAB is All Cops Are Bastards, FYI.
Sure. Which is obviously not 100% true.
No, but...
I'm just stating that out loud.
Okay, well, as long as we're getting into that... If you are a police officer, you should be aware that you are part of an organization that is rife with racism and
100%.
shit. And if you're not standing up, I don't care how hard it is, and that, it's your friends and your coworkers
No,
and
I
blah, blah,
completely
blah.
agree.
You are part of the fucking problem.
I completely agree.
And if you're not saying shit, then all cops are bastards.
Right.
Applies to you,
Right.
my good sir or ma'am. So number 4 is a book that is near and dear to my heart. I read it several years ago, and then my teenager read it, and we had a really deep, heartfelt discussion about it. It's called Speak by Laurie House Anderson, and it is about a girl who is raped in high school, or even middle school, maybe. I can't remember now. And has a hard time being able to tell somebody about it, and kind of goes into herself.
Right.
And it's about finding the ability, the strength, the bravery to talk to somebody about it, and to be made aware that it wasn't her fault, that she's right. Something bad did happen to her.
Right.
And so that book, of course, was banned, challenged, and restricted because it was thought to contain a political viewpoint.
Oh my God.
It was claimed to be biased against male students, and
Wow.
it included rape and profanity.
Wow.
And I'm like, yes, it did. And as much as we might like to wish that rape and profanity don't occur,
Right.
the fact of the matter is they motherfucking do.
Right.
And so we should deal with that accordingly.
Yep.
Number 5 is The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie, banned and challenged for profanity, sexual references, and allegations of sexual misconduct on the part of the author.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm not familiar with that book, but I
Sure, it's not a good reason.
would read it. Number 6, Something Happened in Our Town, a child's story about racial injustice by Marianne Solano, Marietta Collins, and Ann Hazard, and it's illustrated by Jennifer Zivoyne. It was challenged for divisive language and because it was thought to promote anti-police views. I'm seeing a theme here.
Right? Yeah.
So number 7 is both shocking and also not shocking.
Right.
Because it has been challenged and banned forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
But to think that it's still in the top 10
Right.
list for 2020,
Yep.
To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee.
Wow.
Banned and Challenged for Racial Slurs and Their Negative Effect on Students, featuring a white savior character and its perception of the Black experience. So let me just say a little bit about that. And I know we're going a little long here, so I'll try to talk fast.
Okay.
I don't really see that it has a white savior character. This is a book that is being challenged by the left.
Okay.
But the white savior character fails in his efforts.
Right.
And the Black guy who was falsely accused still dies.
Right.
So I'm not quite sure how that applies. And anyway, the story is really not about the white savior or the Black guy who was falsely accused. It's about the child viewing this through her own eyes.
Right.
And she has some, racism of the time shit going on in herself too.
Right.
So I also don't understand how we're saying it's a perception of the Black experience when it wasn't. It was about a white child viewing this and opining on it.
Right.
So, but that's just my take. You're free to disagree.
Sure.
But you're wrong. Just kidding. Number 8, Of Mice and Men. Another one that I can't believe it's still in the top 10 in 2020.
Yep.
By John Steinbeck. It was banned and challenged for racial slurs and racist stereotypes and their negative effects on students. I actually hated that book, but I wouldn't want it banned.
Right.
And I don't hate it for the reasons that it was banned.
Right.
9, The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, banned and challenged because it was considered sexually explicit and depicts child sexual abuse. And I haven't read it, so I can't comment on it.
But I know she's an important author, too.
Yeah.
So, that's, I'm sure, overstating the case.
Yeah.
But
I'm like, okay, so maybe it doesn't belong in a 3rd grade library.
Right,
but don't take it out of high school, though.
Right.
Jesus. And number 10 is The Hate You Give, another book that's on my TBR, to be read list, by Angie Thomas, challenged for profanity and because it was thought to promote bump, 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 an anti-police message.
Wow, that was 3 in that whole...
Yeah.
There was 3 of them in that list.
Something must have been happening during that time period. Yeah. So... I'm about to wrap up here, but I just wanted to mention that there was a list on the website, on ALA's website, for frequently challenged books that are just the most challenged ever. These are always challenged.
Yeah.
And there was one that was frequently challenged kids books and frequently challenged young adult books.
Okay.
And I thought that I would go through and just list the ones that I was familiar with or even had read.
List, right?
Yeah, I would
Totally.
think so. This list was 2.5 pages long, so I cannot get into it here. But the usual suspects are on this list, like Judy Blume, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, which was about a girl who was trying to find her place in religion in her family and neighborhood, and who also started her period.
Got it.
So, there's all that. And there's several other by Judy Blume.
Sure.
There's some Dr. Seuss books, the Hunger Games trilogy, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Ender's Game.
Neil Gaiman's on there.
Neil Gaiman is on there. Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl. I'm just all of John Green's books. He's the one that wrote The Fault in Our Stars.
Probably just
all of his books.
Probably just because he's liberal.
That and probably because they depict teenagers
Got it.
going through teenagery things.
Right.
There's a suicide in one. There's another that has teenagers with deathly illness.
Got it. Yeah.
Again, teenagers doing teenagery.
Wouldn't want to make people think.
Right? Exactly. This one, I have no idea. Where's Waldo is on the list.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know why.
That's really dumb.
I have no fucking idea.
I don't know either.
Crank, which is a book about a teenager who gets on drugs, and it describes the experience. And,
right.
In hopes of telling kids, don't get on drugs.
Yeah.
So you would think we'd all be on board with that. Brave New World, Flowers for Algernon. Stephen King is on this fucking list, babe.
You could go on for the next
Stephen
20 minutes.
King.
Stephen King, yes.
Carrie and Christine are both on this list.
Crazy.
Okay, I'm going to stop now because I'm just... I could just keep going and going and going.
Right.
So I just got through the K's.
Yeah.
And that was not even listing all of the books, A
Right.
through K.
Right.
Okay? But anyway, read a banned book. Read a banned book all the time. Always have a banned book with you.
Definitely.
And definitely celebrate Banned Books Week this September.
Yeah, do it.
All right. Husband,
Yes, wife?
remember how you told me we're on Patreon now?
Yeah, why?
Because we're starting something new for Patreon members only. Every couple of weeks, we'll cover something in the news, a current event, or something we feel strongly needs to be discussed. And only subscribers get to hear our discussion.
That's right. It's all for our Patreon members as a thank you for their support. Join now for as little as $2 a month to get all of our extra content. Go to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse.
Do it now. Husband, it's the end.
It is indeed, wife.
Tell the people where they can contact us.
Well, they can get a hold of us via our email, which is sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. We have Twitter at sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh, why do you know? Why do you keep doing that? Ugh. All right, we have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and a Pinterest page. But if you really want to get our attention, Twitter's where it's at.
Twitter is where you're at.
Yeah.
And they should also review, like, and subscribe, yeah?
Definitely. Apple Podcasts reviews help us out tremendously. And we also can use your support on Patreon, which is a great place to support us as well. That would be at patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse.
Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.